Now, this is one of those vlogs where what I'm doing on screen and what I'm talking about are going to be two different things for the most part. I'm in the middle of doing the basilisk build. I just finished up, I think it was episode 4, and I don't know whether this vlog will come out before or after that. Doesn't really matter. But I'm just doing some dry brushing that there was no need for me to film this part of it, so it just serves as the backdrop. But just in case you're curious, I'm using Strachan green, which I've already put away on the shelf, and it's way over there, which is a lighter green from Citadel. I'm using this Artis Opus Series D medium dry brush, and then I've just got their texture palette to wipe stuff off on. But what's on my mind is I saw a comment, and I don't think it was on a video. I don't think the commenter meant it in the way that I'm going to be talking about. Maybe they did, but I'm going to assume they did not. But they left a comment because and I know I'm rambling. I always ramble. They said something in another comment that led me to believe that English was their second language. So I always try to account for that. If something somebody says sounds a little odd, to think about, okay, maybe English is not their primary language, and some usages may not, usage of language may come across a little different than what, as a native English speaker, I would read. Or maybe they did mean it exactly like they said it. But anyway, what he said was, something to the effect of, I'm enjoying your channel. I'm going to watch this video. I'm building this model. I don't remember which model it was, but, I'm building this model. We'll see if I learn anything. And that's the part that, I wasn't sure what he meant. If he meant that, hang on, let me refocus the camera. Sorry for the shaky cam. I didn't know if he meant that from like I said, I doubt he did, from gee, I hope I learned something kind of way. I don't think that's what he meant. But it got me to thinking, regardless of what he meant, it got me to thinking, anytime you're watching or reading or just looking or creating, whatever, I always talk about, and other creators talk about, you're always learning. There's always something you learn from things. But quite often we tend to set the value of what we're learning based on a positive relationship. Sorry, more shaky cam. And by that I mean, if we consider a learning experience valid if we learn something we did not know. But I think if we just think in those terms, we may be missing out on some other learning opportunities. And by that I mean, let's take my YouTube videos. I put them out there. I do my best on them. I hope people learn something. But I know as I'm doing them that some people will learn something that they might not have known, and they'll tuck that away for future use. That will be the value in it. Some people, and some of them let me know, and I don't mind, some people let me know, hey, I didn't learn anything from this. And in those cases, I usually don't. Usually when somebody comes across with, more shaky cam, sorry. When somebody comes across with a little bit of a terse comment, well, I didn't learn anything. I just say, generally I just say thanks for watching and commenting. If you ever see me put thanks for your input, that's my gentle way of saying, I don't care. But you know, when a few times somebody say, I didn't learn anything. And I would say to that, yeah, you did. I mean, unless you're just being disingenuously snarky, you did learn something. You learned a way that you don't like. You know, you had it fully demonstrated. You saw the usage. You saw how it went, and you learned this is not something that I like. And there's value in that. There have been times that I've watched a product demonstration and I did not like the results, and I did not like, you know, the application method or how complicated it was or the tools that it required or something like that. But it was still a valuable experience because I learned something that I didn't need to spend money on, that I didn't need to try, that, you know, that I was able to avoid. So there is value in learning things that may not be, you know, to think of them as negative and positive learning events. And I don't mean whether it's good or bad, but, you know, is this something I'm going to take away and make use of, or is this something that I'm not going to make use of? That's still learning. And I would also submit that when we're watching things related to our hobby, and I mean, of course, this can apply to anything, but I'm specifically thinking about our hobby. But when we're watching things, sometimes what we learn is it simply reinforces what we already knew. You know, yeah, I kind of knew this, but it's good to see it demonstrated and verified, and that kind of thing. So sometimes there is value in reinforcement. So I didn't go into this answer with that fellow because I don't know that was his intent. Again, I don't think it was. But learning is more than just gathering knowledge for use of some sort that we did not know. It's gathering knowledge to keep us away from using something that we did not know. It can be a lot of different things. I'm cleaning my brush now. That's why I'm not doing anything on camera. It can be a lot of things. So, and I know you guys probably already do this because my patrons are the smartest patrons on the planet. Sorry. Although I do recognize that so many of you are very good modelers and thoughtful modelers in the first place. So this is probably not anything that is you know, new thinking to you, but just to encourage you when you're looking at something. I mean, there's times that I watch videos that I go, okay, this is not what I thought it would be. This is not going to be, you know, worth my time, whatever the case may be, and so I move on. But there are some that I look at and I say to myself, okay, that's good to know because I was thinking about buying that product or whatever, or I was thinking about trying that technique and I see this guy do it and it didn't turn out well. So I want to make sure and avoid that. Yeah, I think you get the point. I've flogged this horse to death, I think. Sorry about that. But anyway, you can learn in just about any situation. I think that's the key in our hobby, is to just always be in learning mode. And I just learned how to burn off about 10 minutes while dry brushing, talking about nothing in particular.